I had a bit of a false start there because uh, I called my kids because I wanted to talk to them before I started streaming. And I started streaming, and literally the moment I started streaming, my son called me back. But he has to go get his hair cut, so I think we have an hour at least. So I was just listening to Janis Joplin's album Pearl. It's so good. I wish I could actually play it. Like, it's weird. Well, maybe it's not weird, but because if I got any revenue on a stream and I played Janis Joplin or something, like, personally, I wouldn't mind sacrificing any revenue I had so that I could, I mean, not all the time, obviously, but like, just say, okay, in this stream, I'm not monetizing it, any like advertising, whatever, Twitch or YouTube goes to the people who hold the music rights, and then being able to actually play cool music would be great, you know? Get it while you can. Yeah. Get it while you can. Yeah, I had an okay day at work. I had a day-long training that I was leading. And it's the last time I'll be doing that for some time. Which I'm kind of glad about because, there's such drama with this. Because, so we created this training. Oh, I'll check the chat because my pickaxe broke. There's nobody watching. And no chatting. So yeah, anyway. There's quite drama because three people created this, or four people, including myself. So four people created this training, and it's all about how to train. And we were requested that we include certain topics. And so we did, and we used that. It's kind of like weird because people would be like, oh, there was drama behind that too. But I'm not privy to the drama behind the creation of this thing. I just know that it started before I came to my position, and then we had this meeting about it, and it was like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, and then nobody did anything. It was really weird to be part of that meeting, but anyway. So it was revived in a different kind of project, and that's when me and these three other people were involved. And the three other people were one person, like my work partner, and two people from another team, but like a sub team within our team. And we didn't know this at the time, but apparently they hate each other. And I didn't really see why. So we had this. So I kind of came along in the middle of this whole thing. And basically, my boss was like, if you have time, volunteer for this. I'm like, my work partner always volunteers for everything, so she volunteered for this. I'm like, okay, I will do it. So we start to work on it, and the main driver of the project is the one person who doesn't like this other person. So we have a meeting about it, and we're getting basically like feedback from other members of our team, which is always like dangerous because they have 100 different opinions that they think are like super, super important, right? Yeah, so we had a meeting like that, and these people were giving feedback, and one of, well, this person who's the driver of the project basically started crying and said, I quit, because she didn't want to do it anymore. And I'm like, that's kind of unprofessional, because like, because she was basically like, you guys are changing your mind, and you know, like, it seemed like an unnecessary emotional outburst, actually. So I was like, oh, that's weird, because I actually enjoyed cooperating with her up until that point, and after also, but I was a bit more on my toes after that, because she could not take constructive or any kind of criticism. Um, oh, I should check the chat. Check in the chat. Oh, there's 2 people here. Wow. On Twitch and on YouTube. So thank you for being here. So anyway, I was in the middle of this story. So she quit in an emotional outburst, this project, and she was basically dragged back by my boss, and my boss was like, I think you should be there. And because of this emotional outburst, she was criticized in the team, I feel, which, I mean, makes sense. But there was also this push to be like super, super efficient. And she actually lost her job. And I think it's because she wasn't very popular in the team. But I think that she was right, because when she came back, she basically, so we were writing these 4 sections of the training, and each of us was responsible for the training. So I was like, okay, I have an idea of how to do it, I think. And I will like, okay, I'm going to do it this way. And then we can do it this way, this way, this way. So my part was done very quickly, and my partner's part was done very quickly. But the first part, which was her part, and this guy's part, took like months to do, because there'd be a deadline set and the guy wouldn't finish. And then the material that he designed was like completely visually different than all of the rest. And so the person leading the project was like, okay, I have some, let's try to make it like visually the same. And so, like, all of the constructive criticism about this project is this guy's work, 100%. So he finishes the work, and then with a lot of help from this other person. So he finishes, and then we do the first thing, and he has like these speaker notes, and the speaker notes are really, really long. And me and some other people said like the speaker notes are too long. It's going to be like really hard to do that because, the speaker notes are so long. He's like, yes, 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 I'll revise them. But of course, he didn't meet the deadline. And okay, checking the chat. Still 2 people. Thank you. So he didn't meet the deadline and at all. And so we do it the first time. And I'm quite surprised because he is literally reading everything of his speaker notes, like word for word, just sitting there and reading 30-minute presentation, which is like, there's some interaction, but it's very like vague, my partner also did that today, which was like, if you're going to ask people their opinions about something, like, I think you need to say, I'm going to ask your opinion about this, so pay attention, and then I will ask you. It's just a English teacher trick or teacher trick. So neither one of them did that. So it was just basically like 15 pages of text and then a question. And the subject of I won't tell you the subject because I don't want to dox myself. I mean, I am slightly an open book, but I don't want to be public about where I work because they have social media policies, and I don't even know. They want you to be a brand ambassador, and I don't want to be a brand ambassador because I prefer to say what I think about things. And your work should be separate from your private life. But anyway, that was not the point of this whole digression, because I think I've talked about this situation on the stream before. So he says yesterday, the day before this big training that we're going to have, that he is sick and he's coming down with the flu. And so he doesn't tell anybody if he's going to be at work today. And he gets to work like maybe 20 minutes before this started, which is fine. I mean, we've already prepared everything. But he says, so our feedback was basically like, don't read from the speaker notes. Be more natural. And he's like, oh, I'm sick. I can't do it because I don't want to, because I'm sick. Basically, I can't do a good job because I'm sick. And I would say that reading from a speaker notes is a lot harder than actually just looking at the slides and, saying you're like, because if the slides are done well, and the slides in that presentation are done well because this other person who had conflict with that guy did it for him, so visually the slides are really well done. They make sense. So where should I start here? Maybe here? Yeah. So if he just like if he just read the slides, it would be much better. Like, just said, okay, on this slide, it's this thing, not read the slide exactly, but present the material on the slides like you're supposed to do in a presentation and not read word from your speaker notes. And I think it's like this person's problem because well, let's call her Protagonist A. Protagonist A wanted everybody to have great speaker notes, and I personally, I hate speaker notes. I think that they're distracting, and the slides should speak for themselves, right? So you should just use the slides. So I didn't really care because my part was a bit different anyway. But so he wrote all of these speaker notes, and I think he was like really proud of them. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna read them because the speaker notes are so good." But I was looking at them, and as I said, it's about like 30 to 40 pages of just page. But here is the interesting thing about this situation. So me and my work partner, we're having like a pre-meeting. Oh, damn it. A pre-training meeting. Like we're having our daily meet, right? It's not really connected to that specific meeting. So we're having the meeting, and we start like complaining about the guy because, you know, he's a bit irresponsible. And she tells me like, "Oh yeah, so the protagonist A, the woman, she got fired, which is kind of part of this story and kind of where I'm going with this. But anyway, so sorry, I'm telling this story in such a backward way. But anyway, he said, which is ridiculous. He said, so the point is that his part of the presentation is only good because of what this other person did, and she was fired. And she was fired because she had a reputation for being, I mean, she got another job, but basically she would have been fired if she didn't get a new job. So her reputation is that she was like the difficult person to work with. So that's why she was probably fired. And so, yeah, anyway, he said that his part of the presentation was the best, and all the other presentations were bad. All other parts of the presentation were bad. And the only complaints that we got about the presentations were, I mean, there were some other things, but mostly it was about his part. 90% of all of the negative feedback was about his part. But yeah, the best. Like, how can you be so? Yeah, but he was kind of jealous about my work partner. I think they did something to the copper of pickaxes. They're not as it feels like they're not as durable as they were when they debuted them. Yeah, so that's ridiculous. And I think, unfortunately, it just proves that work is politics, and you need to be a good politician to survive at work, because that person lost her job because she was not as good of a politician as that guy was, even though the guy is lazy and doesn't deliver in this particular situation. I don't know about other parts, but and it wasn't a problem today because I wasn't paying attention. I turned my camera off and I wasn't like listening to his part of the presentation. But the second time I heard it, I was like so angry that fate made me listen to this, because not only is it like 30 minutes, but it's like 30 minutes of like 30 minutes of reading from a script, and not a very interesting script. No interaction whatsoever with people. Maybe like one kind of small interaction that wasn't prompted and wasn't prepared for, and horrible pronunciation in English. so that you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I know what you're talking about because I understand your accent and I've been living here for a long time. But if I were not a person who had lived here for a long time and I first heard that accent or that you saying those words that way, I would have no idea what you were talking about because your pronunciation in English is atrocious. Like, go back to school. Which seems a bit mean, but like it was really, really, really bad, you know? Gonna kill you with love and affection. Get it while you can. See, that seems like it's not a long time for the copper to work. I felt like yesterday and the day before the copper pickaxes lasted longer. Okay, I'm just gonna check that because I'm curious now. Doesn't say anything that they changed the stats of it, but would kind of make sense because it is supposed to be weaker, much weaker than iron. But see, that's ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna. So it's 12 after 6 my time, so I'm gonna see how long a copper pickaxe lasts. Gonna kill you with love and affection. Get it while you can. Okay, now that I'm watching, it feels longer. Maybe it heard me. I wonder if rain affects how long it lasts. Get it while you can. Okay. It was 4 minutes. 4 minutes. And not even a constant, exactly, not exactly a constant rate of work. Yeah, so anyway, I felt like that was dumb. So dumb. That he was like, oh yeah, my stuff is so much better than your stuff. It's not that you would think that your stuff is better if you had like I don't know, good stuff, and maybe if he just gave a presentation instead of reading the speaker notes. Then you could make the argument, but the way it is just atrocious. And the fact that he doesn't know that it's atrocious, that's kind of troubling. Like, how can you not have any kind of self doubt or self criticism? Like, I think I did okay in my part today. I had some like technical difficulties, but I wouldn't sit there and say, "Oh, this was the greatest presentation that's ever been given." I mean, I don't think that he was saying that, but I wouldn't even say that it was better than any of the other parts, except the part that I have been complaining about for the last half an hour, because that was absolute dog doo doo. That was not great. He gonna kill you with love and affection. Get it while you can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I can be a little bit more positive than I've been for the past few minutes, I will describe for you what I like about Janis Joplin. I generally like rhythm and blues, but rhythm and blues kind of holds back, right? It doesn't get all wild and crazy, and I think Janis's music. See, that was 3 minutes. Ow. But that's a lot of cobblestone and other materials. Yeah, she has this like really wild and vulnerable voice. Like, on the one, it's weird because it's a voice where it sounds like she can't sing, like she's always straining, but clearly she can sing, because how can you do that to your voice without being able to sing, and everything is in tune and stuff? So it's really, really great. Because she's like rock and rhythm and blues. She's like more rocky rhythm and blues, like rhythm and blues on the wilder side, which is great sometimes. Especially if you had a long day of listening to crappy English. That's not the main problem. The main problem is that somebody would be so arrogant in their English skills to sit there and read for 30 minutes and have like rhetorical questions, right? Like he's Barack Obama or something. And I might regret my words, but I think even Donald Trump can give a better speech than that. Oh, it was so bad. He even did the Webster's Dictionary defines X as like, oh God, what are you giving a speech in primary school? Belong to the He'll kill you with love and affection. No, I don't need two pieces. Two things of gravel. That's exactly what I need. I'm trying to fill up all these chests. Dun, 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 dun. Try just a little bit harder. Love, love, love him. I tell myself. Sometimes I have pretensions that I can sing. Sorry about that. Oh, also, I think never been diagnosed or anything. Oh, I need some sticks. No sticks in there. Never been diagnosed or anything, but I think that I have low-level anxiety because I was worried about this training today. And I was an English teacher for many, many years, so I shouldn't be worried about talking to people and teaching them things, because that was my job, as I said, for many, many years. I'm going to get some dirt here. Yeah, so I was an English teacher for many, many years, and I can teach people things, but I was just like, it's brown wool. So I was an English teacher for many years, but I was so anxious about it that I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. Which is not an unusual thing for people to do. They just usually go back to sleep. But this is the way my anxiety works, is like, I was like, I'm not going to be able to sleep, and then I'm going to be worried about not being able to sleep. So what's the point of sleeping? But then I have things like, oh, I need to buy groceries for my kids who are coming over, and I don't know exactly when they're coming over. So I'm like, oh, will they like what I buy? I buy the same thing all the time. Are they coming over tomorrow? Are they coming over Saturday? Constantly like that. But they surprise you by saying like some really nice things. So it's worth feeling that way. At least about them. It's not really worth feeling that way about presentations. And that's the weird thing too, is I'm never going to do that presentation again. So it didn't really matter how I did it, you know? It was completely irrelevant to my future. I gotta check the chat in two when I get rid of 2 stacks. She got rid of that dirt. Oh well. Try just a little bit harder to love him. I tell myself. I know that wasn't good. I don't have any idea. I don't have any misconceptions that was good. Okay, so I have to make that flat and this flat over here. That's going to be harder because I think that if you turn around the corner, the cave continues. But let's focus on this part first. Trapping the bats. I imagine the bats spawn when there's a cave, so there needs to be a hole. So if you remove their ability to fly out of the hole, do you actually remove the bats? I don't know. Good question. If it's a dream, I can't take it. Do 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 do. I need some water. Water. Sorry about that. You need to filter the water first, and I changed the filter in the filter. I think we need a better naming convention for that. But I changed the filter in the filter, and the instructions say you're supposed to pour out it twice. So I forgot to pour it out twice, and I also cleaned it with some harsh cleaning chemicals because I've had it for a while. But I washed it out. Should be fine. Famous last words. Also, same thing with the cup. I need to wash the cup. This is probably incredibly dangerous. But I noticed that when you drink tea a lot, like I do, or coffee, the bottom of the mugs get stained, right? And it's really hard to clean with just soap. Yeah, they don't have a dishwasher. So I don't know if Domestos is an international. Well, it's just bleach, right? It is just bleach. So if you put bleach in the cup and leave it for a while, the stain will go away. Because I guess it destroys the organic compounds. I don't know what the reasoning is. Try just a little bit harder. Oh, nice. Okay, getting my water. If I died on stream, that would be very unfortunate. More so for you and my landlord's internet. Tastes different. I think that's because the filter is new. And it's not something I really notice, actually, and I drink water all the time, but you can tell when the filter should be changed, actually. All right, I'm going to fix this part. Okay, now this part should be relatively easy. If it's a dream, I can't take it. Try just a little bit harder to love, love, love you. Okay, let me check the chat. I washed my cup and the water filter. Miss MSX asked me what I washed. I was saying that I washed the not the filter part of the water, like this inside part, and I don't know. It still looks dirty because it's stained with hard water residue, which is probably a bit too much about my place. But yeah, if you live in a place with hard water, we say in English, which is just like water that has a lot of minerals in it, the minerals can, make your taps, stain your taps, or it's not really stain, it's like this white buildup, kind of like in caves, but not in a cave. I know, very fascinating. Oh yeah, and I washed the cups as well with bleach so that they would be, but I rinsed them out, but you never know. Okay, I need to go this way because this needs to But how am I going to get rid of the water? Yeah, this cave is gigantic. Oh, danger, danger, danger. Okay, I'm going to do something dumb. Because I think if I put the water here, it's just going to flow. Yeah, right. Wait a minute. Maybe I can make it flow. Well, not like that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and deal with that later. Oh, right. I can make kind of a little, yeah, I can contain it for now. Okay. I'll check the chat after I get rid of this stack of dirt. Okay. Got rid of the stack, so I'll check the chat. You know that there's cleaning chemical. Yes. So apropos of my, oh, there's 3 people watching now. Hello. Apropos of my cleaning the thing. Yeah, I was using some. So Miss MSX says, you know, there are cleaning chemicals that removes it in seconds. That is correct. But it's plastic. So it kind of worked, actually. Bleach does nothing to it. It won't dissolve minerals. That's true. Look for the scalar. That's also true. It's not really a problem on my taps, actually. Or maybe it is. Maybe we should do that. I don't think so. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, Miss MSX says the scalar doesn't hurt plastic. All right. Back to my building, or not building, my flattening. And not my very fascinating tales of me cleaning my water filter. It looks like there's a river over there. Yeah, there's like a river flowing in this cavern. That's not creepy at all. That's not creepy at all. Okay. Seems like there's an end, though, which is great because I thought maybe it would just go on a lot farther. What? Oh, I was wondering about that. You can't, I guess, you can't put a block next to gravel or it will fall. The gravel will fall. It's interesting. I did not know that that would happen. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I will check after I get rid of my next stack, which is not going to be that long, actually. The question is, I'm going to have to break this to see how far does it go that way. Not very far. Mm. Okay, it's a lot smaller than I expected. It just looks bigger because down is so much. Down is so much. There's so much down. Down is a lot. There's a lot of downness. A lot of depth, I guess. Downness says it sounds better. Okay, I'm checking the chat. Still 3 people. Nothing interesting else apart from my fascinating conversation about and Miss MSX's conversation about Descaler. So stay for the wild and crazy Minecrafting. Don't come for the wild and crazy Minecrafting. Stay for the cleaning tips. Well, I did a lot already. I mean, not quickly, but that is a lot. I guess I could just go around like I was doing now. Now that I know that it's a limited space. Okay, did I contain the water? I think I did. I did. So I think I can get up to the waterfall when I get rid of the mountain. If it's a dream, I can't take it. Just a little bit harder. Okay, I'm going to check the chat after the next stack of dirt. Not that one, this one. Yeah, as I said before, I'm wondering if the bats will actually stop generating when I close off this, or whether they'll be just stuck down there forever. I'm gonna make like some stairs down into this massive cavern because I will need all of that material. Where's the rain? Oh, there's the rain. Where's the rain coming from? I said in my mind, but I didn't say out loud. And I just said something like murmur, murmur, murmur. It's like, they know what I'm talking about. Murmur, murmur, murmur. Okay, let me check the chat. Still have 3 people watching, 2 people on YouTube, 1 person on Twitch, which is great. Thank you. I appreciate everybody who watches, but I think people complain about Discovery being really hard on Twitch, but I think what YouTube does is it recommends live streams on Shorts, which is like ridiculous because, I mean, sometimes I've stayed and watched something that was particularly compelling, but I don't use YouTube Shorts to watch live streams. So I think a lot of Discovery on YouTube is connected to YouTube Shorts. So you have to admire the commitment of somebody who sees somebody streaming Minecraft and his name is the Flattener, and they're like, or his nickname that he gave himself is the Flattener, and they're like, yeah, I want to watch that. You know, I could be watching so many other exciting things, but I'm going to watch a guy put dirt in the air. Which actually I understand it's very relaxing to do, so it must be kind of relaxing to watch sometimes. Okay, now I have a problem, which was kind of unexpected. I still have a lot of dirt. So I didn't really need so much dirt, which was a surprise because this is a gigantic cave. Try just a little bit, Wolfie. I'm sorry that I'm singing all the time. Janis Joplin is really good. Oh, it's little tiny baby Wolfie. Hello. Hello, I'm not going to hurt you. Okay. Might as well get more dirt. So why not? Why use a shovel when you can use a pickaxe? Because if I had got a shovel, I'd have to go way over there to the crafting table. Yeah. I know. Very lazy. Just a little bit harder. That's Try, by the way, the thing I keep singing by Janis Joplin. If you're interested, check it out. If you like rhythm and blues and rock, it's a perfect combination of the two. If you don't like either one of them, then probably don't check it out. Getting rid of dirt. Whacking it like it hurts. Oh, iron. I do have a lot of iron, actually, because my son was down in that cave. Oh, nice. Let me just expose it to the elements. Okay, I feel like this pickaxe lasted longer than 6 minutes, but maybe that's just my imagination. But it was whacking dirt, so maybe it lasted longer. Well, obviously it lasted longer because of that, so that makes perfect sense, actually. The rain suddenly stops. wonder where the copper golem went. There's also like a happy ghast floating around somewhere in the world, and there's a copper golem somewhere. But it's an island. Can copper golems swim? I don't know if they can or not. Never say never, but I haven't had bots in a while. Maybe they got banned or something from Twitch. Release those accounts and they'll be back. Speaking of copper, I'm just going to take a little bit of you. I need to check how much stuff is in my inventory. I have enough space. Okay, my son is calling, so I need to finish the stream. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.